Welcome to an amazing story that will inspire you and help improve your English skills. Do you ever feel like your dreams are too far away? Sometimes, success seems impossible. But history shows that determination and passion can change everything. This is the story of a young boy who started with curiosity and grew into one of the most influential people in the world. His name is Bill Gates. The inspiring story of Bill Gates. Chapter 1: A Curious Mind. Bill Gates was born on October 28, 1955, in Seattle, Washington, USA. His full name was William Henry Gates III. His family was not very rich, but they lived a comfortable life. His father, William E. Gates, Sr., was a lawyer. His mother, Mary Maxwell Gates, was a teacher and later worked in business. From an early age, Bill was different. He was a quiet boy, but he loved learning. He could sit for hours reading books and trying to understand the world. His parents noticed that he had an unusual curiosity. Even as a baby, he would stare at objects for a long time, trying to figure out how they worked. At the age of 7, Bill started reading advanced books. He loved science, history, and law. His favorite place was the family's small library. He could spend hours there, lost in the world of books. But school was different. The lessons were too easy for him. He often felt bored in class. His teachers noticed that he was distracted, but it wasn't because he wasn't interested. He had already read everything they were teaching. One day, when Bill was 9 years old, his teacher asked him, "Why do you always look distracted?" Bill replied confidently, "Because I have already read the book." His parents realized that Bill needed a more challenging environment. So they decided to enroll him in Lakeside School, a prestigious private school known for its strong academic programs. Chapter 2: Discovering Computers. Lakeside School changed Bill's life. It was here that he discovered something that fascinated him more than books: computers. In the late 1960s, computers were rare. They were huge machines that took up entire rooms, and only big businesses or universities could afford them. But Lakeside had a computer. The first time Bill saw it, he was amazed. He felt like he had discovered magic. Bill spent every free moment in the computer room. He learned how to program, writing simple codes that made the machine perform tasks. His passion was so strong that he sometimes skipped other classes just to spend more time with the computer. At first, his teachers were annoyed. But soon, they realized that Bill had an extraordinary talent. When he was 13 years old, Bill created his first computer program. It was a simple game of tic-tac-toe, where a person could play against the computer. This small achievement filled him with pride. He realized that programming was not just a hobby, it was something powerful. It was a way to bring ideas to life. During his time at Lakeside, Bill met Paul Allen, a senior student who shared his love for computers. Paul was quiet and thoughtful, while Bill was energetic and outspoken. Despite their differences, they became close friends. They spent hours talking about computers and the future. One day, Paul said, "Bill, I believe that one day there will be a computer in every home. At that time, it seemed impossible. Computers were expensive, and only big companies used them. But Bill believed it too. They started dreaming together about how they could make this vision a reality. Chapter 3: Early Business Success. By the time Bill was 15, he was not just learning, he was earning. Along with Paul Allen, he started his first business, called Trafodata. They created a program to analyze traffic data for cities. This project earned them $20,000, which was a huge amount for teenagers in the 1970s. More importantly, it taught Bill an important lesson: success isn't just about ideas, it's about taking action. Bill was competitive. He loved challenges. At Lakeside, he often made bets with his friends on who could solve problems faster. He hated losing and would do whatever it took to win. His parents worried about his obsession with computers. One evening, his mother said, "Bill, you can't spend your whole life in front of a computer." Bill smiled and replied, "Why not, Mom? One day, computers will change the world." Even as a teenager, Bill showed signs of leadership. He was not just interested in programming, he wanted to build something big. He dreamed of creating a company that would make computers accessible to everyone. He and Paul often stayed up late at night discussing their dreams. They didn't have all the answers, but they had one thing in common: a vision for the future. Chapter 4: The Harvard Years. In 1973, when Bill Gates was 18, he enrolled at Harvard University, one of the best colleges in the world. His parents were proud. They believed he would become a successful lawyer, just like his father. But Bill had a different plan. While other students focused on law, history, or medicine, Bill spent most of his time in the computer lab. He skipped classes to learn more about programming. One day, a professor asked him, "Why don't you focus on your studies instead of spending all your time with computers?" Bill smiled and said, "Because this is the future. Computers will change everything." At Harvard, Bill's passion for computers made him stand out. He was not just a student, but was a visionary. In 1974, while he was still in college, something happened that changed his life forever. A company called MITS created the first personal computer, the Altair 8800. This was a huge deal. Until then, computers were large, expensive, and only used by big businesses. But the Altair 8800 was small and affordable. When Bill and Paul Allen saw the Altair 8800, they knew this was their chance. They believed that personal computers would become popular, and they wanted to be part of this revolution. Paul called Bill one night and said, "Bill, this is it. We need to act fast before someone else does." Bill agreed. They decided to write software that would make the Altair 8800 more useful. But there was a problem. They didn't even own an Altair computer. They had to create the program using nothing but their knowledge and imagination. It was a big risk, but Bill believed in their abilities. In 1975, at the age of 20, Bill made a bold decision. He dropped out of Harvard to start a company with Paul Allen. His parents were shocked. His mother said, "Bill, what are you doing? Harvard is your future." But Bill replied, "Mom, this is my future. Computers are my passion, and I can't let this opportunity slip away." It was not an easy decision. Leaving one of the best universities in the world to start a company with no guarantees was risky. But Bill had faith in his vision. That same year, Bill and Paul started their company. They called it Microsoft, which stood for Microcomputer Software. Their goal was simple: to create software for personal computers. They had no office, no money, and no team, just two young men with a dream. Chapter 5: Building Microsoft. In the beginning, Microsoft was just a small startup with a big dream. Bill and Paul worked day and night, writing software and meeting with potential clients. They had no real office, so they worked wherever they could. They were determined to make personal computers a reality for everyone. One of Microsoft's first big successes came when they developed software for the Altair 8800. Their version of BASIC, a programming language, became popular. This was a major milestone for the company. Soon, Microsoft started receiving requests from other computer manufacturers. Bill saw an opportunity. He believed that software, not hardware, was the key to the future. In 1980, Microsoft got a life-changing opportunity. IBM, one of the biggest computer companies in the world, needed an operating system for its new personal computer. Bill promised IBM that Microsoft could provide what they needed, even though they did not yet have a finished product. To meet the deadline, Bill made a bold move. He purchased an existing operating system called QDOS, improved it, and renamed it MS-DOS. IBM agreed to use MS-DOS, making Microsoft a leader in the industry. MS-DOS was a success, but Bill knew that the future required something even more user-friendly. In 1985, Microsoft launched Windows, a graphical operating system that made computers easier to use. Unlike MS-DOS, which required typing commands, Windows allowed users to click on icons and navigate with a mouse. This was a game changer. Windows quickly became the most popular operating system in the world. Chapter 6: Microsoft's Rise to Power. As Microsoft grew, Bill became known for his intense work ethic. He pushed his employees to work hard and demanded excellence. Some found his leadership style difficult, but many respected his vision and dedication. Microsoft continued to grow, and in 1986, the company went public. Overnight, Bill Gates became a billionaire at just 31 years old. Despite his wealth, Bill did not slow down. He wanted Microsoft to continue dominating the software market. In the 1990s, Microsoft released improved versions of Windows, including Windows 95, which was a huge success. The launch of Windows 95 was one of the biggest events in tech history, with people lining up at stores to buy it. By the late 1990s, Microsoft controlled the majority of the world's computer operating systems. However, success also brought challenges. In 1998, the U.S. Government accused Microsoft of being a monopoly, arguing that the company was using unfair business practices to eliminate competition. The legal battle lasted for years and affected Microsoft's public image. Despite this, the company remained dominant in the industry. Chapter 7: A New Mission. By the early 2000s, Bill started thinking about his legacy beyond Microsoft. He realized that his wealth could be used to solve global problems. In 2000, he and his wife, Melinda, created the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The foundation focused on improving global health, reducing poverty, and supporting education. One of its biggest missions was to provide vaccines to children in developing countries. In 2006, Bill announced that he would step down from his daily role at Microsoft to focus on philanthropy. Many were surprised by his decision. However, Bill explained that he had already achieved his dreams in technology, and now he wanted to use his resources to help others. Since then, the Gates Foundation has donated billions of dollars to causes such as eradicating diseases, improving education, and fighting climate change. Bill's influence expanded beyond the tech world, as he worked with governments and organizations to create positive change. Chapter 8: Bill Gates' Legacy. Bill Gates' legacy is a complex one. While he is admired for his technological innovations and philanthropy, he has also faced criticism and challenges. His transition from a fierce businessman to a humanitarian has been closely examined by both supporters and skeptics. Many admire Bill for his dedication to solving global problems. His foundation has saved millions of lives by funding vaccine programs, providing education opportunities, and addressing poverty. Leaders around the world have praised his efforts. Former U.S. President Barack Obama once said, "Bill Gates is a visionary. He saw the future before anyone else did, and now he's working to make that future better for all of us." However, some critics argue that Bill's wealth gives him too much influence over global issues. They question whether one person should have so much control over public health and education policies. Some have also criticized his approach to business, arguing that Microsoft's aggressive tactics in the 1990s hurt competition and innovation. Despite the criticisms, Bill remains committed to his philanthropic work. In 2010, he and Warren Buffett launched the Giving Pledge, encouraging billionaires to donate most of their wealth to charitable causes. Many of the world's richest individuals have joined the pledge, inspired by Bill's example. Bill's impact on technology is undeniable. Microsoft changed the way the world uses computers. Windows became the standard operating system for businesses and homes, making computing accessible to millions. Without Bill's vision, the digital revolution might have taken a very different path. As a philanthropist, Bill has shifted his focus to some of the biggest challenges facing humanity, including climate change. He believes that technology and innovation can help solve environmental problems. His book, How to Avoid a Climate Disaster, outlines potential solutions for a sustainable future. Even with his enormous success, Bill Gates continues to learn and evolve. He once said, "Success is a lousy teacher." It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose. This humility and willingness to adapt have allowed him to remain relevant in a constantly changing world. Bill's personal life has also been in the spotlight. In 2021, he and Melinda announced their divorce after 27 years of marriage. Despite this personal challenge, they continue to work together through their foundation, demonstrating their shared commitment to philanthropy. As Bill Gates moves forward, his legacy will be defined not just by his achievements, but by the impact he has on future generations. Whether as a technology pioneer, a philanthropist, or a thought leader, his influence will be felt for decades to come. His journey reminds us that true success is not just about financial wealth, it's about using resources to create positive change. Bill's story continues to inspire millions around the world to dream big, work hard, and make a difference.
Thank you for listening. Please subscribe this channel and enjoy learning English.